everybody. My name is Miss Cribapple. Cribapple is actually a Spanish term. The A in Cribapple has a little asterisk on top of it, if you know what I mean. Is a drag streamer, and someone came into her stream. They were like, "Oh, your wig is pretty, your eyes are pretty, and everything." And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it." And they're like, "Wait, why you gay? Why you gay?" Just like forget like all the compliments I just said earlier. Why you gay?
You just want to take pictures, don't you?
Yeah, I'd love him to take a picture of me. On top of my body too. That is too much.
Can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? I think allies definitely fall under like the facet of like queer culture, because without our allies, we wouldn't really have anybody backing us up for like what we believe and what we live by. It's not even like what we believe in either as well too. It's like literally our life. Everybody that don't know who I am, stay here, because I'm a bitch. I'm a bad bitch. And I was growing up, I wasn't really like treated right by certain types of people. And, you know, one of my mottos that I sort of like live by to this day that is sort of like unspoken to me, and I don't really share with like a lot of people. So people are gonna be like, "This is your motto? I never heard you utter these words."
Welcome to Behind the Streams. Here's a place where we talk about the backstage action of streamers, backstage stories, experiences, struggles, and much more. In the previous episode, we discussed about horror streaming and how to stand out on Twitch with a perfect niche. Check it out if you like. And today, we're having with us Gothikalove, who is a horror streamer, a makeup artist, and a multi-talented personality from the LGBTQ community. And Gothikalove, I'm reading your bio on Twitch. It says, "I've been a judge, a fortune teller, a date, a wife, a cashier, a drag race competitor," and all of these imaginative things. And I can tell you, you got me from the judge. So... What is your channel about? Tell me all about it.
Speaking about niche, I don't really know if I have a specific one just yet or not, but my channel is all about just like taking the time to forget about all the bad things that are going wrong, just like with random like skits and funny things that I come up with in my mind. There's no reason behind every single one of my streams. I have like 50 plus scenes, excuse me. I have 50 plus of them of just random things that like go through the course of my life that I find really like funny or like entertaining. So like Judge, I used to watch Judge Judy a lot. I have a wedding scene for if I want to randomly like marry people like on site. I think that's like really funny. And then just like a bunch of other different stuff. Like my friend called me Gothikalove the other day. I have an IKEA scene where I'm a cashier at IKEA. So that's what that one's about. But I think it's just all about just like playing video games, makeup, having fun, and just like being the things that no one really would ever see any regular person do. Because in my eyes, like outside of stream, I think I'm just a regular person. I don't ever get to do a lot of the things that I do. And when I go on stream, I do literally anything go to anywhere that I want. That's what's so cool about streaming to me anyway, is that I can just create like a scene of some sort and put myself in a place and be a different character and have a different persona or like have a different attitude even when it comes to that. So I like to think that I have just like a very like skitty type funny stream, I would say. Very entertaining, I guess.
Yeah, I love it because that's the point on Twitch, right? To travel wherever we want and do whatever we like.
Absolutely. Twitch is just so diverse to begin with as well too. There's just so many different types of streamers out there with a lot of different backgrounds. It is always nice to like get to know a lot of different other people and see like where they came from. And a lot of the people that I meet as well too remind me of people that I've met throughout like my in real life experiences in the past when I was growing up as well too. Because I'm only 22, so I'm still young, and I'm actually getting scared that I'm turning 23 this year because I'm gonna start feeling old at 23. But I'm still youthful in a lot of different ways, and I still hold on to a lot of the different relationships that I had in the past in certain ways. Not as much as I used to anymore, but it's really nice to like see like the familiarity between people that I meet online and the people that I actually meet in real life, and just like all the different types of people you can actually meet.
Yeah, exactly. And how did you ended up on Twitch? I mean, from the very beginning.
So I think it was about 2.5 years ago at this point. I think I'm coming onto my 3rd year. I randomly was playing Dead by Daylight with one of my best friends, and we invited a random person to play with us, and they were actually like streaming from their PS4. I used to always play Dead by Daylight on my PS4. And they were like streaming to like 1 or 2 people, and that's good. Like, I thought that was like so cool. I thought that they were documenting their life, and I'm like, I'm really funny. You're a really funny best friend. We're all like so funny. Like, people don't ever get to see that about us. So I wanted to document my life in that sort of sense. And so the first time I ever hit the live button was directly from console, actually. And so I got my makeup on, sat there, and I'm like, okay.
There we go. Oh, God.
And, yeah, so I thought it was just really fascinating, and then it grew into something like a project of mine, because a lot of the things that I used to do in the past I never really stuck to. Like, I am not a really complacent person. It's really hard for me to stay to one thing my entire life. If it's a project, I give it up in like 1 to 2 weeks. This was actually a project I was continuing with for about a month, and I was like, I could do this for a long time, and I kept on doing it for a very long time and continuing from there as well too. So I treated my stream not just as a hobby, but like as like my baby, basically, like my project. Like, I want this to like really work out, and I'm gonna make it work out. I'm gonna figure it out and not give up. And here I am today, not giving up.
Right. And I'm glad about it. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, yeah.
So you are the proud G in the LGBTQA community, right?
Yes, the proud G.
Alrighty, and being already in a community before even started streaming, I mean, it could be helpful at the very beginning, at least. Was it helpful for you?
In certain ways, but it was for. Okay, so it was going to be for negative things, honestly. And when I say negative things, I really mean like the trolling. So when I was growing up, I wasn't really like treated right by certain types of people. And, you know, one of my mottos that I sort of like live by to this day that is sort of like unspoken to me, and I don't really share with like a lot of people. So people are going to be like, this is your motto? I never heard you utter these words. Others. But like, one of the things that I really like try to make sure I do within myself is not to surround myself with people that I don't like. And I was always surrounding myself with people that would be very spiteful and homophobic around me, because they were friends of friends. So like, the friends that I was really close to had all these other friends that were not really like positive in any way, shape, or form. So I was really already building myself up to that to begin with anyway, like having that, like, not even like a wall, like a defense tower. I feel like a lot of us actually have a defense power as opposed to a wall. A wall to me is just like, okay, you're blocked and I'm gonna move on. A defense tower is like, I'm gonna shoot back. Mm-hmm. So what growing up helped me with is like dealing with the trolls a lot better on Twitch. And honestly, like, I laugh at every single troll. I was actually laughing with my other friend who had a troll in their stream the other day over something so stupid. The situation was, so this is a shout out to my friend Kriska. Kriska, she is a drag streamer, and someone came into her stream. They were like, oh, your wig is pretty, your eyes are pretty and everything. And she's like, oh, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And they're like, wait, why you gay? Just like, forget like all the compliments I just said earlier. Why you gay? And like, that's so funny. Some people are really like trolls, but like, we just find it so funny at this point. It's ridiculous and unoriginal, and I find it like that's like the one of the good things that came out with it as well too. It's just like, I look at like the negativity and I'm just like, oh, you're cute. Okay, anyway, so that's one of the things. But I think another thing with being part of the LGBTQ community is that I found myself more streaming than I did almost any time before. Like, I found my confidence, I found my voice, I found being able to like stand up for myself actually in a lot of other different situations, especially in real life, because I feel like sometimes I'm always like a pushover, especially in real life. And I decided last April, so about like 8 months ago, that that's actually 10 months ago, last April, that I'm not going to deal with it anymore. So that's actually like why I quit my job that I was currently working at, because there was just a lot of systemic issues that I was seeing with that in that self, and I felt very stuck, and I didn't feel like I owned myself in any way, shape, or form. Streaming gave me the confidence to know that I own myself and I make my own decisions, and that's why I decided to like leave my job at that point. And I've just been pursuing streaming at this point and making a living off of it. I would say I did a lot of growing up more so during streaming than I did ever before streaming, especially when it comes to like being in the LGBTQ community, because you sort of develop like what you're going to do to fight against the world just for basically like going live. Like I feel like a lot of people that are marginalized for whatever reason it may be is it ends up building some sort of like tolerance or defense to whatever gets thrown at them just for simply going live. Like I hit the live button, and I remember one time I hit the live button, I already had 10 trolls in my stream, and this was like way back then, 10 trolls in my stream, like within the first 5 minutes of my stream. And that's halfly because of it was going to just chatting, okay? Just chatting is where the trolls are at. If you're LGBTQ, I will say that right now. But it's that kind of shit that you just have to deal with and move on, honestly. And one of the best things that I learned from someone that I used to idolize, and I'm not going to go into specifics of who that was that you turn trolls into content. And that's what I ended up doing at some time over as well too. And that's actually one of the reasons why my Twitch grew triple-fold within that point. So like back in around August, I posted a random video on TikTok. I finally got on TikTok, and I started posting my clips of like my stream and whatnot to my TikTok, because I felt like I needed to put something more out there. And I was already done with TikTok. So I'm like, you know what, this one day, I'm just gonna post one video, close the app, forget about it forever for a while, because I was posting 3 videos a day. I'm like, why aren't they popping off like everybody else's is? Like all that kind of shit, like comparing myself. And it was a minute video of me playing Fall Guys, and this troll came in and he was randomly like, gays are weird, Trump 2020. And this was around back in August. This was around the US election, so it wasn't even like nearing like voting time or anything like that. I just thought it was so weird and random, so I basically gave him a piece of my mind and like started going off on him and popping off. And I'm just like, you can crawl back to your basement, that's fine, I don't need this. I am like, as I'm playing like Fall Guys and actually winning, that's like one of the things that people notice as well too, like, you're so good at Fall Guys and everything. I'm like, yeah. But another thing as well too, they commented on my hairline, and then like I destroyed their shit. I destroyed their shit, and then they followed me later, and I told them, I said, fuck your follow, fuck your time, get out of my stream. Like, I'm not gonna tell you twice, you're already embarrassing yourself. That blew up basically. Yeah. I had a lot of negative comments in there, like, you know, saying like Trump 2020, they were right or whatever. I remember there was one person that said, oh, that was me that commented in that video. And then another person was just like, are you sure? Because that was me. Like, I had trolls fighting on who was being the homophobic person in my chat. I will say that video solely tripled my stream. I had an average of 20 viewers at that time. After a course of 1 to 2 months, I had an average of 60 because a troll trolled me. Okay, haters are what you need. And I think that's what a lot of us in the LGBTQ community really know to this day, because it boosts you. It boosts you because it shows that you're able to stand up for yourself to other people, because I had a lot of positive people come through my stream as well too since that point. People that I really know and really do cherish, that do come by, whether it's viewers, friends, as other streamers as well too. You just learn to like turn it into something that's gonna make your life a little bit better. Okay, I can't sit here and like cherry pick every homophobe that comes by to me, because there's a lot. Like it's super unoriginal to begin with as well too. Like every single one of them has the same thing to say. I already heard it. I just built a defense tower and used it to my advantage, and here I am now. I'm getting an interview with you.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta tell you, 100%, I agree with you that haters and trolls can give us content, but sometimes, you know, there are some of the things that they're saying, and I know because everybody's got trolls and stuff on their stream, even if they belong to the LGBTQ community or not, you know, everybody gets that.
Yeah.
But there are sometimes that they really get to us, even if they get to us backstage, you know, when the camera is turned off, we're thinking about it and stuff like that. So where some of this moments happened with you? Because I know you're a very, very powerful person, and I've seen how do you deal with the trolls in a funny way, and I laugh my shit out. But has there been times that it really got you?
Honestly, when it happens over, I don't have like a specific scenario in my mind where I let it really, really get to me, but I know there was some days where like, if I got a troll over and over and over again, and like my stream wasn't really popping, or I wasn't like in the good mood, I didn't like eat before a stream or something like that, it made me like sour for the rest of the stream. So one thing I learned about myself when it came to streaming is that I'm easy to read. My face is super easy to read. So if I'm like frustrated or upset or something, people will see it instantly within my face, and it will destroy like the whole mood of everything. So like if I get like troll after troll after troll, and I'm not having like iconic moments or like funny moments or like having a really good time moments, like my mood will be crushed the whole stream. And I gotta teach myself to be a little bit better with that, like, you know, being like, you know, I think I'm gonna end earlier or something like that, because my mindset is sort of just like, you're there, like the show is on, you must put on a show no matter what. But sometimes it's really hard to like keep up like a good attitude throughout the whole time, and not like think about it in like such a negative manner, honestly, like all the time, because I don't like prying on problems that I've had in the past. So for me to like keep on like talking about it for like the next hour while I'm playing games is just, it's not really like content that I've ever really wanted to put out, because that's what some people view it as, is content, but it's also just me venting at that point as well too. And I don't like showing people, like, you know, that shit does really affect me, but it can affect a lot of people, especially if you have people over and over and constantly. Like that one video that I just mentioned earlier, that was the whole reason why I turned off comments on my TikTok. I don't have the notifications for like comments whenever anybody like comments on my videos anymore, just likes and follows sometimes, but that's really it. Like that shit sort of really destroyed me, and it made me not want to socialize with a lot of different people, like when I posted on TikTok or anything like that, or even like in my Discord. Like I didn't want to like socialize with people. Like I'm the type of person, like if I'm feeling bad, I need some time to myself, and I'm gonna crawl into my rock, and you probably won't hear from me for the rest of the day, and you'll hear from me like all about the next day, you know? So that shit ultimately made me like put up a wall for a while, not to like get to know people on a very, very personal like level, only because it's just like I was just so tired with the negative social interactions that I was getting. I didn't want to really like think about socializing at all, whether if it was positive or not. So that shit can truly get to someone, like make someone want to crawl under a rock. And I definitely have those days. I still have those days to this day as well too. But I've been doing a lot better about it. I just try to make sure that like, you know, I eat and like I watch the necessary amount of TV to consume my life, and then play the necessary amount of video games to consume my life, and regularly like call a friend like a day. Like I think that's one of the things that really saves me these days, is like I call one friend a day and just like shoot the shit and talk about whatever we want to talk about. And I'm like, you know, I'm having a good day. Like this is a good day so far. Like market complete, you know?
Yeah. I totally understand this. It's like going for a quick coffee with a friend or everything. And that's awesome during the quarantine. That's for sure also.
Oh yeah, saving me from like boredom, from death, from all of it.
Exactly. There have been a lot of theories and fights over this LGBTQA tag on Twitch. So some of the streamers want to use it exclusively because they belong to the community, and some others who are not in the community just want to use it to support the community and everything. Yeah. And there have been so many fights about that. So what's your opinion on that, if you want to share it with us?
Yes. So I see a lot of different facets of like the sides of the opinion. I have a friend, I won't call out names. I have a friend who came to me actually with this type of conversation, was just like, you know, I'm an ally to the community. I really like believe in it. I really live it in my own ways. I may be cis, but and cis being like heterosexual. But you know, like I want to tell people like my space is of LGBTQIA's safe space, but I'm not LGBTQIA myself. What can I do? I think there's a big difference when it comes to, and I've learned this from Dragula. Dragula is basically like a horror version of RuPaul's Drag Race, if you didn't know. There's a difference between LGBTQIA and then there's a difference between queer culture. Queer culture to me is like the expression and celebration of the LGBTQIA community. LGBTQIA is directly people that are LGBTQIA. I think allies definitely fall under like the facet of like queer culture, because without our allies, we wouldn't really have anybody backing us up for like what we believe and what we live by. It's not even like what we believe in either as well too. It's like literally our life. Like that's how a lot of people feel. Like that's how I feel like sometimes as well too. Like I'm just living my life and I will have a homophobe like clock me in 3.2 seconds. It sucks. So although right now it's just not the right atmosphere right now for anybody that's an ally to be using the LGBTQIA tag, because right now a lot of people feel already marginalized as a community in a whole itself because they are LGBTQIA, and that's a completely fair argument. I wish there was some sort of form or way, and probably not even like a tag, but like something for allies to show that they are truly like for the LGBTQIA community, because I know a lot of great streamers that I know a lot of great streamers that are allies. If you're LGBTQIA or even just a viewer of any sorts or shape, I would recommend them to you, because I don't look at someone like when I see a content creator, I don't think to myself, oh, they're an LGBTQIA streamer, they must be good. Like I have to actually go and scope that. I have to go and scope that shit out. If I scope things out, regardless of who you are, and you're a good streamer, I'm gonna tell everybody about you. And that's how it should be always in the end of the day. So if you're an ally and if you're a streamer and you're an ally, your LGBTQIA friends that you support, whether it's just going to their channel, being a friend, anything really, will back you up as long as your content is good, your friendship's good, your attitude, your I guess morals as well too. And there's just no room for like homophobia, bigotry, transphobia, anything like that right now in these kinds of climates. Because it's honestly 2021. We're sick of 2020. We're sick of it. We're everybody's fucking sick of it. Like there's just no time for it. I have no time. Like I'm like I need to go get my venti coffee. I need to get my Mountain Dew. Let me go to the grocery store real quick. You're a homophobe? I have no time for you. Okay, let me go plan like what I'm gonna do for my date tonight. like there's just no time. There's no room. There's no time for it. So if you're a true ally, like you'll find your audience, and people will see that within you, no matter if they are LGBTQIA or not. Like you just have to live it. You honestly just have to live by what you actually believe in, and people will see it. For sure.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, I think that there shouldn't be a tag at all, because we should everybody be allies, and the LGBTQ community should not have to front up their sexuality and everything. So
you're right, and I do want to add a counterpoint to that as well too. I think as an LGBTQIA streamer, I have no choice but to front it, and the reason why is because and this is like to not like, like as like a counterpoint, this is just sort of like to add on to what you're saying, that like when people see me, and if I don't have the tag at all, because for the first 1,000 followers of my stream, I never used the tag, because I didn't want people to come to my stream and be like, oh, they're a gay streamer, I like them. I want them to be like, oh, they're a crazy ass streamer, I like them. Like I didn't want, I wanted a certain image for me. I didn't always like, of course, like it's my life, like absolutely, but like I don't have the choice to divulge it if I didn't want to. That's the thing. Like I'm a feminine man and people will clock me up front. I'm a man that wears makeup, people will clock me up front. Even if I didn't wear makeup, I have my long hair, I look actually more feminine as well too, like in real life, people will clock me. I've had that shit happen to me since I was 16. I remember one time, side story, I remember one time when I was working at a craft store that a man came up to me, he saw my name tag, my real name is Nicholas. He saw my name tag and he's like, your name's Nicholas, really? Trying to point out the fact that I'm a chick with a dude's name. Yeah, no, I've been dealing with it since I was 16. So to get back to my point, I'm sorry, I'm just like, rant. to get back to my point, it's really tough because we can't separate the fact that we're LGBTQIA if we wanted to or not within our content. A lot of people have the chance to be able to do that, like with things that's not able to be seen up front, like political views, religious views, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But like we don't get that choice. We do not get that choice because we will be automatically assumed, whether it's in a positive or negative manner, that it's going to, like, you know, they're an LGBTQIA streamer. That's already the category we get put in. I actually I get put into the drag queen category when I don't even consider myself like a drag queen. I consider drag queens like honestly a little bit higher up than what I do, because I never like, and all drag's valid, I will say that up front, but I've always been wearing makeup like as like a regular thing throughout. I've always called myself like a makeup artist, but people put me in the category of drag queen because I'm a man that wears makeup and I look like a drag queen. I'm completely fine with that. Like, I think it's actually more of a compliment so than anything else, but we just don't get the choice to separate that kind of thing. So I think the tag itself, like, I understand the point is to like showcase like LGBTQIA streamers, but I do want to actually get to a point where you said that we don't need the tag because we should already like be equal and good enough to stand on its own. But as of right now, unfortunately, that's not the climate with certain things. Like for example, a lot of the LGBTQIA streamers want trans tag. They want a specific trans tag to support trans people as of right now. And Twitch is not really on the fence line with that. So it's sort of just like a continuous fight at that point from there. We're a long way from like being equal, I guess. And as much as like, I don't really like to say it, I do think a lot of straight streamers can have it a little bit easier than LGBTQIA streamers in a lot of other different facets. But that doesn't mean we won't be able to make great content, rise up, and take what we deserve, basically. Which if you're a really good person and you're a really good content creator, it will show. You just have to like wait it out and through your journey.
It's 2021. We shouldn't be talking about these things. So you shouldn't be fighting for these things, and you shouldn't be fighting to be accepted and everything. You should be, everybody should be accepted. You know, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be happy and everybody wants to live their lives as they like. That's what I meant by the tags that should or shouldn't be on Twitch.
Yeah. I wanted to get to that point. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, come on. Yes. So, have you ever been judged about your makeup? I mean, on stream?
On stream, no, I don't think I have. But I wouldn't clock it if it was outside of stream or behind closed certain doors. Like I said before, all drag is valid, but you're never gonna like a certain thing that everybody does. And it's your choice whether you want to voice it or not, obviously. I don't think I have like the looks that a lot of other people definitely use. I have a lot of friends that are more neutral as opposed to me being more colorful. And I like what I like because it works for me. And I've been used to this for like a really long time. This has actually evolved from a lot of different things that I used to do in the past that were way more ugly. I never had a situation on stream though where someone has came in and was like, oh, your makeup bad or anything like that. You like gross. But I did actually recently today as well too. I have someone that recently came into my community and he does a lot of like face painting, and it's a lot of like horror-based face painting. And someone came in and they were like, oh, like you're ugly, it's bad or whatever. And he's like, yeah, because I'm a bad bitch. Like you just gotta twist it in your own way. You gotta be confident in yourself when you receive those kinds of criticisms. You're either gonna take it as like, you know, maybe I could improve on that. But like, it's always like the way that it's being dealt to you as well too. Not a lot of people will come in and be like, oh, like I have a constructive criticism about like the makeup that you're doing. I feel like you could do this more as opposed to doing this. They come in and you're just like, oh, it's ugly, it's bad. And that's where a lot of the different like negativity especially comes in with that kind of shit, where a lot of people just shut it out like, oh, that's a troll, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of ways that you could tell someone like, oh, hey, like maybe like your contour is a little bit too much. And I've always done this to like, you know, fix that in the past when I would do this, as opposed to being like, oh, that's shit, that's bad and all that. But even that as well too, like aside from that, like second point, it's sort of, it's sort of not your business to go up and tell someone how they do their makeup as well too, especially if they didn't ask for your opinion. It's the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. If you're out here treating people like they want to be judged all the time, you're going to get judged. That's really how it is at the end of the day. So I hope this is a testament to anybody that's watching. Do not come onto my stream and comment about my makeup.
Oh yeah, but I want to say about your makeup is way better than mine, so.
Your iconic red lips, I always die for that. I could not be able to do that.
So how was your very first streaming experience compared to your latest one?
Oh, so different. I was streaming from a PS4 and I don't remember it. I remember it was Dead by Daylight. I said to myself, I'm gonna be a popular Dead by Daylight streamer. Where the shit did that turn out? I just remember having like the feeling, like I don't really remember it, but I think I remember the feeling of like, oh my God, like I'm on camera, like I'm having a good time. I'm making content to just like, the last time that I did it, I was just like, I hope everybody liked what I did. But I felt like I had a good time. To me, since the beginning of this year, this is one of my New Year's resolution is I don't look at my analytics at all. I have a mod that I asked them, I'm like, just tell me how I did without telling me a number. That's all I asked. The last time I looked at it was the beginning of this month, only because I needed to see how much I was getting paid so that I plan, manage, budget, finance, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I seem to have grown from the previous month beforehand. But honestly, like I don't really like pertain to numbers to this day at all. So like all of it is really based on like how I felt about the stream. Like my last stream was Sunday. Sunday was popping. Like I was having a good time. I felt like I was partying. I had a Chipotle burrito beforehand. I had so much fun that stream. But Friday was the worst one I had in a long time because my stream crashed 3 times. I had a killer from one of my Dead by Daylights come in and just be like negative and disgusting and all of it. I'm like, you know what? I feel like shit. I think I'm gonna go early and everybody have a good day. Bye, thank you. And I crawled into a rock. I have a higher emotional roller coasters from my latest stream than I did ever my first ever stream. I think that's the main difference that I remember.
Yeah. But you are the second person on the show that is telling me that they're not looking at their numbers. We talked about on Heal Please Heal in the very first episode. So I wanted to know, I mean, I'm wondering, I'm a number person, you know, I'm doing the math.
I used to be. Oh yeah.
But the point is that how can you monitor your evolution, your development, your everything if you're not checking out the numbers, you know?
A lot of people will take in those analytics and do what with it they like. So when I used to always look at the numbers. So when I say always, I mean after stream. During the stream, I suggest highly to keep the number count off. The reason why is because I did both. One where I looked at the numbers for a year and one where I didn't. I had a lot of time on my hands. And every time that I'd be looking at the numbers and I would see even a decrease by 2 people, I would be like, fuck, what did I do wrong? And like, I was having a good time, why'd they leave? And sometimes it's either not your fault or you are actually doing something, but that's aside from that as well too. You start getting in your head, you really do. And so I decided to like do streams where I turn my numbers off, and I used to like check it every now and then, but like literally I don't even touch the single number at all. The only time I see it is when I'm rating because it forces that number on you, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to looking at the analytics, the main thing that I really took away from it was when people really came to my stream and when people started to leave my stream. So when they were ready and doing nothing after work, all this shit, to when they were going to bed. I use that to determine what's the perfect stream time that works for me and my mental health compared to everybody else's time and when they're actually going to be there. Because I was streaming for 2 hours with that analytics, I figured out I was streaming for 2 hours more than I probably should have been, because by those last 2 hours, people started to go to sleep. And that's because they were more on the East Coast. So like I would stream to like 9 p.m. Like at 9 p.m. it's 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. like their time on a weekday, and that's when they need to get ready to go to bed to work the next day. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that you could teach yourself about your own analytics, like especially like if you're like, you know, if you have a high mood and then a low mood, or like if you change games especially. I didn't always used to think that games changing a game or playing a different game than you're used to would actually affect your viewer count. Fact check, it actually does, and it frustrates the shit out of me. But like, because I don't want to be complacent in one box, like I mentioned before. But those are the things that you should be looking out for to try to figure out, like, you know, am I actually really doing something wrong, or am I just streaming at the wrong time? Because I think there's a big misconception about that. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as like the past 2 months where I have not been looking at my numbers at all, like I said, I have someone that tells me how well I'm doing. And so I'm going to take that for what that is. And like I said before, I had to look at my numbers for the month of January when it ended, because I needed to see what the payout was. I was doing average 4 more viewers, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is actually a lot. Mm-hmm. I was doing average 4 more viewers than I was the previous month of December. So by not divulging myself into worrying about numbers and just worrying about whether I was having a good time, whether I was happy, and whether I was creating iconic moments, and just chill it out, have a good time, feeling yourself. I would prefer that more so anything than even looking at the numbers of the stream every single day, because then all you're going to worry about is the numbers. And then a lot of people do preach, like on Twitch, like, oh, everybody's just not a number. They like, these are people, you need to be making like connections and whatnot. That's true. But also the good thing about analytics is that you can see when your audience is going to be more available to you than any other time. That's the one thing that I took away from analytics. Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I can, that makes sense. So what would you say that was the biggest struggle while streaming? And at first I want you to tell me, what would you say that is the biggest struggle of the LGBTQI streamers, and then which one is yours?
Okay, so I can't speak for everybody because everybody's experience is different. Although we are part of one community, that doesn't mean we all have one problem. Mm-hmm. I think I don't really share this with a lot of people, so this is going to be one of my first times sharing it, but I think a lot of people in the LGBTQ community aren't vastly, I'm not trying to say like not vastly different, like they're all the same, but like I think we still need to like find, a lot of us still need to find our own niche. And I think that's a problem that honestly everybody has. Like, what separates you from everybody else? So I don't think that's necessary. Oh, that's not necessarily like an LGBTQAI problem. I think that's one of the first things that comes to my mind. A second thing though, if it's LGBTQAI specific, is just making sure you stand up for yourself. I don't think that like that's an issue with everybody or a lot of other people, but like I said, like it's gonna be a continuous fight to like stand up for yourself against people that are not as of accepting to LGBTQIA people, because unfortunately with some of the bigger people that are not accepting comes bigger audiences that are not accepting, and then you have this whole group of people that like believe this one person that doesn't believe that your existence should be valid in any way, shape, or form. I think just continuing to like show that you are as valid as any other person, mm-hmm. and not like combating it, but just standing up against it, I guess, in your own way is one of the main things that like is always going to be a struggle between any LGBTQIA streamer. As far as like my experiences with that, I've never had a streamer, and they better not, but I never had a streamer specifically like show homophobic like intentions when it comes to talking about me in a public matter. I've never really occurred a problem. Like the only problem I honestly probably occurred was when I put that one video on TikTok that made me want to crawl into a rock for 3 days and not get to know people. What they did and what everybody did following, specifically Trump supporters, because that was also like part of the video being like political, I guess. It made me not want to like talk to people. Like I didn't want to get to know my own audience. I didn't want to like socialize. I just wanted to keep my lane and just like do streaming because that's not what I know to do best. And just like, and just like not really like learn people and get close to people as much as I used to anymore. I think that was one of my main struggles, is that like just keeping my head up was really hard. I put up the defense tower and I didn't want to like learn a single thing or be curious about other people, and that holds really anybody back. Like if you're not wanting to be social on a social platform, whether it is Twitch or Twitter or anything like that, what are you doing? You know, like I still struggle with it at times as well too, because I'm not really still social to this point, but I'm not where I used to be, where I'm just like, I don't want to be. Like I want to be, I just don't know how right now. So just keeping my head up is one of the main things I've really had to challenge with when it comes to like being like, if it's a specific LGBTQIA like streamer issue that I've ever had. I think everybody else like is doing such a good job like standing up and being the voice for like a lot of other different people from what I always see, and like standing up for what's right. It's not even standing up against homophobes, it's standing up for what's right. That's what I've always viewed it as. And I think as long as we all continue to do that, whether you are gay, straight, male, female, anything, it will just work out better like in the future for everybody. You yourself, because I always say like you put yourself first, but like yourself, other people around you, other people you specifically care about around you especially as well too, is one of the main things I would say about that question.
Yeah. So Twitch is a competitive platform, that's for sure, and also the discoverability is low to zero. But the pie chart of the competition in the LGBTQ community is a bit smaller, though. But the problem is that there is a lot of competition at the same time, and at the same time, a lot of friends that you can make into the community, right? So would you say that the community acts more like competitors or allies to you?
So honestly, I think it's the same. You're right, it is smaller. Like I feel like it is smaller compared, because I never really look at like how many gay streamers are there as opposed to straight streamers. Like I never look at that, but like I would believe that to be true based on like, you know, how I've always felt about like myself, like especially like in high school, I literally known like 2 other gay people in high school. And the high school class I was in is probably made up of 1,200 people. And then there's the other grades, you know, I can only imagine. As far as whether I think it's all competitive to like friendship, it's honestly dependent on how the viewer or the streamer views it. Like a streamer can view it as competitive. If they view it as competitive, they may not be able to make as much friends as they probably want to, whether they care to or not, and will do things that will make it seem like they solely just support themselves, opposed to anybody else. But I think it's still all really like connected in all of its own way. Like I have a specific respect for a lot of other different streamers, as long as like, you know, they have good intention and good moral, whether they're in it for themselves or just really truly like being a supportive person or not. Unfortunately, I'm at the point where I'm just like, I don't know, because like it's online. I'm like, I don't know you really, like, I don't know whether you truly have good intentions or you truly just are trying to do something, including me, in something for yourself. I could even view this interview like that if I really wanted to, but I don't, because I just want to like do whatever I want to do and have like fun doing it. And I do think these kinds of conversations would be helpful, especially in the future, for people that don't really like know what it's like. I don't think there's a lot of competition. I think everybody fairly supports each other. Twitch can always be viewed as a competition to everybody But again, like if you want to view it that way, and I don't think a lot of LGBTQIA streamers view it that way, especially like in a public manner. I think you should support honestly whoever you want to support and not really like be fake about it, or not like have an ill intention behind it. Like if you truly like someone, go out and support them. I've never really viewed it as a competition, though I will say is sometimes I do get jealous, and I think everybody does it too. It just depends on how you react to the jealousy. I do get jealous of some other people's successes over what I've been doing, but then I gotta remember like what I've been doing, and it's really hard. You're your worst judge, and it's going to be really hard to see within yourself what you're doing, especially if you view someone doing better than you, or view someone getting the things that you actually wanted. Right now, I specifically feel that way when it comes to like partnership, because a lot of the close friends that I had got partnered recently, and I expressed to them, I'm like, bitch, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But like, I expressed to them, like, obviously I'm happy for you. I wouldn't want anything more than for you in the world. Obviously, it's just frustrating because like, I feel like I'm also working as hard, and I may not be at the point that you're at. And so it's obviously going to be frustrating for literally anybody, but it's what you do with that jealousy. So I chose to like tell them about it and let them know, like, you know, I love you and I support you. Obviously, I just want to let you know, like, I'm feeling this type of way because I need a friend to be there for me. As much as I want to be there for you, I sort of need someone to be there for me. And it is a little bit selfish, but at the same time, I wouldn't ever confide in someone that I didn't feel as close to in a friendship. If anything else at all, like acquaintanceship or something like that, I became closer to them in some sort of way, and I became more confident within myself because they reassured me. They're like, everybody has their own journey. You're gonna get there. When you get there, it's probably gonna be super big, and you have all these different types of accomplishments. Like, for example, I'm able to afford my rent, my bills, my nails, my hair, my makeup, just full-time streaming, and I'm not even a partner yet. Like, that's one of the things that my friends, one of my friends brought up to me recently as well too. I'm like, you're right, not a lot of partners actually are like full-time just yet. They still have like a day job and like work 40 hours a week and can't support themselves solely from that, and I've been able to. So like you just got to take some wins as it is, and just learn to like really appreciate what you have. Like, even if it takes time, just learn to appreciate what you have. Like, if you need a day of crying, take your day of crying and then get back to being a bad bitch the next day. I've definitely done that quite a few times in my past.
You are so right about this achievement, because there are a lot of partners out there and a lot of other streamers out there that they're not even close, not paying their rent, but just paying their coffee. It's a huge achievement, and you gotta be very, very grateful about that. And I'm pretty sure that the partnership is on its way. It's just, bad delivery through the lockdown and everything. That's all.
Yep, that's what it is. It's taken 3 to 5 business days when those business days are mostly closed. Absolutely. I know I'm on my own journey. Honestly, like, one of my resolutions as well too this year is like, I'm not even going to focus on being partner. If it happens, it happens. Like, the only thing, one of my friends told me that realistically, one of the only things that truly happens is you get more emotes. Maybe you'll get more opportunities, but the main thing is like emotes, and like it will hype up for like the next month. And that sounds really nice. And I don't want to disappoint people and tell people like, I don't care about being partner. Streaming has been my life for the past 2 years. I would love to be a partner right now if I could, but I just know now is not my right time, because it's just not the right time. I used to always think it's not the right time because maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I don't have star quality. Maybe like, I'm not as good of a person as I thought I was. And that's not the case at all. Never the case. It just it will happen in time when it's meant to happen to you. You just got to be patient. You got to focus on what's really good for you and enjoy it while it lasts. And while you have it, because you deserve to be happy for what you have right now. And that focusing on being a partner and not getting it, that is not the basis of that kind of like moral at all.
Yeah, sure. And I've seen a lot of partners to take the partnership and do nothing about it, or even quit streaming after a while. So
yep,
it happens.
It happens.
So I want to thank you so much for today. It was awesome discussing with you all of this amazing things, because everybody needs to know some of the things, and it was one of the most important conversations that we had on Behind the Stream. So thank you again so much. It was an honor having you here.
It was nice catching up with you again. It's been so long. I was just like, oh, Fairy messaged me. Thank you. Oh my God, I was so happy to talk to you again. And thank you so much for this opportunity as well, too. I hope everybody learns a little bit of something from this and be nice to gay people. I don't know.
And also you will find all of the links of Gothikalove on the description right down below. So thank you again.
Thank you. Oh, this was so nice. Tip number 1, honestly, have your viewer count off. That is one of the main things I wish I would have started when I started streaming. It took me a year before I actually started growing because I was always focused on numbers. If you turn off the number, even for streaming, you could look at it afterwards, but even during the stream itself as well too, you won't focus on the numbers. You'll focus on in the moment, reacting to the video games, making content, making friendship, talking about important things with your chat and being personable as opposed to seeing whether you were at 20 an hour later into your stream or not. Twitch tip number 2, have a schedule and repurpose your content. For starters, having a schedule lets people know, sort of like a Pavlov dog kind of way, that you are gonna be live at this time and they should be there at this time to this time. With getting people used to a schedule, it gets people to make it like a thing that they do regularly in their life. Like if you're live on Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., they'll be like, all right, like at 4 to 9 p.m., I'm gonna be watching this stream, probably doing this on the side as well too. But mostly like, I'm gonna be here for Gothikalove stream or like whatever. Like you want people to get used to you in their daily life before like anything else, and being consistent with your schedule does that, and repurpose your content. So if you started to get onto a platform, so to speak, as TikTok, which I highly recommend that you do, you want to grab your most iconic moments, even if it's from a year ago, and put it on TikTok or like whatever platform that you're trying on, because repurposing your content to your current audience will remind them of how great that moment was, because we love bringing up past memories as long as it's good, and it lets new people like discover you a little bit more if it's really popping off. That's a main thing that really took off with me and my community and viewership in the past. Twitch tip number 3, honestly, have fun. Like, and it's the cheesiest thing I would never thought like I would be saying to like anybody at all, let alone like another like person on YouTube saying like, oh, here's the secret to like Twitch or whatever. Literally, if you're not having fun, it's gonna feel like work and you're just gonna tire yourself out. You've gotta find your ways to have fun as well too. Like I play with my viewers because I like interacting with people, and then like having those kinds of social interactions. I like playing the games that I play. I'll play Dead by Daylight mostly on most of my days, but if I feel like playing this game, you better do it, regardless of the results. Have your favorite like ice cream before stream. Do whatever happy rituals you need to do to get yourself in the mood to have fun so that you could stay having fun. Because if you're not having fun, you're not making good content and it will show within your face. You're gonna feel like shit after all the hard work that you've done to really try to put on a show, and you're gonna wear yourself out 10 times more, and you're gonna need more breaks than you should if you're not truly, and I mean truly, having fun, not looking like you're having fun. You need to feel it, because if you feel good, your content's gonna be good.
Today it was not only an interesting discussion, but there were things that really needed to be pointed out and screamed out loud. Because it is 2021, so instead of judging and point out fingers and labeling people, we should live our lives, level up ourselves, and mind our own businesses. Because there are a lot of things we need to take care of. So I hope that something good came out of this discussion, and if you want to see more of Behind the Streams episodes, make sure to subscribe on the channel. Really soon we will have a Q&A special section for streamers. So if you have any streaming related questions, make sure to drop them on the comments. Until then, don't forget to have fun.